ain't drunk, I'm just drinking.
But you're so high.
Oh man, you know I ain't high.
But you're so high.
Yeah, well I just take a little sip every now and then.
But you're so high.
You ought to be ashamed of
Stay
yourself.
drunk all
Oh,
the
come on now,
time.
you all don't feel like that.
Bam! Here we are, the PatriotBlades Build. I'm going to try to make this as cool as Rocco's was, so let's see what we can do. Get your roto twister. Bam, gotta have that. And anything else. Anyhow, so here we go. He has done most of the work. He put in the 4-in-1 ESC, put on the green Cobras. We're going to apply Loctite to these probably. Go over a couple of things. First thing we're going to do, if you notice, this thing is actually built upside down. Okay, little funky. So his ESC is upside down, and I'm going to wire in our, where the fuck did it go? Already, Kakute F4, bam, awesome flight controller. We're gonna wire that in upside down too. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna flip it over, and we're gonna see what kind of shit my brother's gotten us into. Love you, buddy. So we got a little bit of work to do, but he's done the hard part, really. This is going to be two segments. It's going to be, why is that not coming out? It's going to be the build and solder here, which is easy enough. Then it's going to be Betaflight setup, and I'm going to go over a couple of things for you guys. I told you I would show y'all how to reverse motors in Betaflight and remap motors in Betaflight. So that's what I'm gonna do in this video. Fuck, gotta make a mess. So that's the problem. Too fucking clean in here. Alright, so we're just gonna disassemble this real quick. Brother Rocco's just like, dude, what are you doing? Okay. Basically, we've got some standoff nuts down here that we're going to have to put back in. Easy enough. Two in this case. We're going to make sure this is all going the way we want it to. And we're going to be putting in the Kakute F4 Pro. Or not Pro. Is it Pro? I don't fucking know. I cannot keep up with these fucking names, you know, the Gingo-san, Bado, Wuchi, Clint Mash, and Moose Knuckle, you know, it's, what the fuck, who comes up with these names? Kakute. I love Kakute boards, but Jesus, it's such a weird name. So yeah, we're just going to pop this thing apart, see what our brother's done. I got to figure out the wiring of the CSC, because you didn't send me any paperwork. That's okay. There we go. Damn, that's a pretty little thing right here. Okay. One of the things that he had mentioned was he wanted me to conformal coat this ESC. So we're going to pop off his standoffs, just loosen them up. I want to check out his solder job anyway. Love you, brother. All right. This is going to be nothing but a peanut, kids. We're going to be putting in a VTX, a camera, and the all-in-one, whoops, shit, remind me to find out later, all-in-one flight controller. Okay. I bet I can't get that off because he soldered it like that. Oh, wow. All right, well, all right, we won't do it. We'll go ahead and put another coat on there, or a coat on the bottom at least. I'm not going to unsolder all his work. It's really not necessary. I don't get real anal about waterproofing a standard quad. Drones I do just because, I'm flying farther away, and if it starts raining and all that good shit. So he did a good job on that. So, bam, let's find that other thing. All right. Either way, I'm going to look for that. Be right back. All right, bam. I could not find it. Fucking thing's floating around here somewhere. Oh, well, we don't care. So what I did is I replaced his, he just had open-end standoffs on there. I replaced them with true standoffs, and we'll just nut them down. No big deal. It's the exact same principle. So this is the front. So what we're going to do, very straightforward here, I have to take off his heat shrink, or his hot glue. Sorry, brother. Got to do it. What we're going to do, this is an all-in-one flight controller. So this is going to make our wiring super fucking easy. We're going to tag 2 wires off of here, bam, bring them into there, done. So let me grab some wire. 2 seconds. Yeah, good enough. Good enough. Okay, here we go. Let's get rid of some of this shit. He's like, what are you doing? Your shit's such a mess. I'm like, dude, it's all right. It'll all work out. Okay, so I'm going to take this wire, and I suppose this is kind of a build video, so we're going to show y'all. You've all seen me solder. Ain't nothing special. All right. Bam. What a mess. Now, always re-tin. And Rocco said this in his video as well, that when you re-tin, he's like, oh, come, you know, if it's quality motors, he did it on motors, they come pre-tinned from the factory. But the reason you want to do it is if they come from, a lot of times that stuff is made in a brazing oven. And if it's made in a brazing oven, chances are good it could be lead-free solder. And if it's lead-free solder, it sucks balls. You do not want it. That shit don't stick at all, man. It's like, bam, you need something with some glue in it, okay? So if you reapply your solder, you're mixing alloys. Now, I don't have a black and a red wire because I'm colorblind, and I do not care. We could use this. It's all right. We're going to use the thinner wire for ground and the thicker wire for positive. So he's already got this soldered up. Okay. Right there. And I'm going to tag off his positive and his negative right there. We're going to double check him. Yep, he's good. All right. So always double check your buddies. Been drinking. Let's see. This is the front. Let's see where our Kakute says. I love this board. Fucking love it. It's scary to solder sometimes. Okay, so we're coming right off the back. It's going to go just like a dot. So we're going to solder positive going this way. Heat through the wire. Use the side of your tip. And we're going to heat through. I don't love that. I'm going to remelt him a little bit. Okay. No biggie. We're going to take hot side. Ground side. Perfect. Now, we're going to lay these off this side. We're going to take a little bit of conformal. Bam! Always have conformal coat. Wear your rubber, kids. I'm telling you right now. Good fucking math. And we're going to put it over these terminals here, bubbling, and these terminals here. Yes. He's like, oh, you're getting shit on my frame. Well, son, this come back to you. You can clean it up. Now we're going to do a little bit of chip. I'm not going to go nuts on this, just because I can't get the other side without unsoldering it, and it is not worth it. So, don't fly the fucker in the rain. Bam, there you go. So, let's double check. Our thicker wires go into hot. Our thinner wires go into ground. Hot's going to carry more current. So, now, if we look at our Kakute, we've got the forward direction here. Your floating gyro, bam, right there. And all these pretty little terminals. And I'm going to go ahead and point these out real quick for those of you that want to use this flight controller. So, negative input, positive input, straight from the battery. Motor 3 input, 1 input. Motor 2 input, motor 3 input, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you got your grounds, positive, negative, positive, negative. And that's battery positive ground, battery positive ground. We're not even gonna mess with those. And then you've got all these tiny little fuckers here. Ground 3 volt, 5 volt, receive UART3, transmit UART3, blah, 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 blah. LEDs we're not using, voltage, 5 volts, bam. That's easy enough. So what I'm going to do, we're going to have to flip this upside down in Betaflight because I am not going to solder it upside down. That is just, fucking forget about that. That's a pain in the ass. So we're going to make sure the direction's going the way we want. Here's your arrow, direction of travel. Now you don't have to, but we're going to. And then we've got the camera going this way. So I'm going to lay these wires under here, bam and bam. And as always, I always tell you guys, put your nuts on first, okay? The reason being, and I say this all the time, I sound like a broken record, but if your nuts get in the way, you can just burn through them if you need to. This is not rocket science, but hopefully it's interesting. It's Sunday, it's rainy, nasty, perfect day for a fucking build. So hopefully I can get the computer into this done tonight and get this back to my brother. So we're gonna tighten these down. Snug. Remember kids, it's plastic. Don't need to use a fucking torque wrench. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, this is just how I roll. Where is my, fuck. See, Rocco's and all those guys are a lot more fucking efficient than I am. Bam. I cut all these off. Then I take my soldering iron and I JJRotoGeek lock these a little bit. And like I've said, you can still get them off later if you need to, but that will keep them from vibrating loose, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pre-tin. Do not solder over the board. Solder from the outside in, if you can, okay? So, clean off the iron. Gonna be nothing but a peanut. Real fucking easy here. Should be using a wider tip, but that's okay. Bam, okay? And so on and so forth. Let me use different solder on this. Okay? Now, the tricky part about the Kakute is your camera OSD input. Your video is under here, along with its voltage. Be careful. Don't burn through that little solder, that ribbon. That will be bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and tin all these up real quick. Bam, be right back. Bam, we're back. Okay, so I tinned everything that I need. No big deal. We're going to be using ground, 5 volts, receive 3. I'm gonna put our radio, our receiver on UART 3. Nothing else here. We're not even gonna use a beeper on this bird. We're gonna use the motors. Video in, ground, and 5 volts. Smart telemetry, where the fuck was that guy? Motor 1, motor 2, motor 3, motor 4. Smart telemetry is right there, which I don't think I'm even gonna use. This bird's gonna be going around the block, and you know, if you're using a Fly Sky or a Radio Link or Tyrannus, you know, it's just whatever. You guys can use it if you want to. There's your buzzer, which I'm not going to use. We're going to make motor beeps, boot button. That's really about it. So what we're going to do, we are going to wire our positive in and our negative in on the back side. So this is battery voltage, because this board has a current sensor and voltage, obviously, and OSD, obviously, all that good stuff. Okay, let's see how that looks. Positive, negative, bam, there she is. We'll tuck all this stuff in there. Yeah, it looks pretty. It's pretty. All right, rock and fuck and roll. So now I'm going to go print out the printout for his ESC, because I have no fucking idea what the wiring is. So I'll be right back. Bam, we're back. Okay, well, the problem we have is that if you look at these wires, see the colors there? And you look at this, they're different. There is no, I think that's red and black or something. I don't know, I can't tell, but there's no red and black on here. I just have my wife double check my color blindness. So we're just gonna have to figure it out. My assumption is that 1, 2, 3, and 4, we don't need 5 volt ground and bat and all that crap. We can get rid of all this. We only need 4 wires. So I'm gonna give it the old college go and assume these top 4 are those. But we're gonna test it before that happens. So let's do that right now. So what do we got? We've got, everybody's wired up. Actually, nothing's wired up except this. So what we're gonna do a prostate check with our meter. Make sure this piggy's where it needs to be. If it beeps steady, Rocco, I'm kicking your ass. Nah, I'm just teasing. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to plug in a battery. See if it goes smoky on us. Okay. Good. So now what we're going to do, I am going to basically plug in all the wires, and we're going to test them to see if there's any high voltage coming out of the ones that I think are the signal. So I will be right back, because I'm not going to waste your time with that, and I'll tell you what it is. Hang on. All right, here we are. I didn't want to bore you with that. So basically all I did, I took a guess at the 4 that I thought it was, and I just plugged them into this DIN rail, okay? And then I used this pliers to hold it upright. So it's sitting like this. Took my meter on DC, put one probe on the ground, and probed each one. I heard each ESC reset. Bam, this is it. So these 4 we don't need. So we're going to get a razor blade. And I'm going to drop. You just pry these up a little bit. I do not care about wrecking this, honestly, because I don't care. There we go. Not but a peanut. There's 4. Fold these back down. Perfect. That's it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in. I'm going to route the cable through the other side. Doesn't really matter. But we want to give ourselves plenty of war. We're going to cut it here. Rocco's like, what are you doing, man? And then we're going to go ahead and tin these real fast. Man, nothing but peanuts. Easy shit. Shit, that's hot. Sunday night. Everybody's going to have a happy Monday tomorrow, right? Woohoo! No. All right, there we go. Bam, done. So I'm going to remap these motors in Betaflight anyway. Rocco, you called that one, dude. I'm just like, I can't be bothered. Your shit's upside down. My shit's upside down. It's just, fuck that. It's just too confusing. Okay, so now we're going to plug this in. And we're going to route. There's a motor 2, motor 4, motor 1, motor 3. So I'm just going to take 2 of these. Does not matter. And I'm going to route them out the front. Just to make it kind of cool. Maybe. I haven't drank enough. Sobriety sucks. Okay, here we go. So, bam. Those 2 out the front. And these 2 out the back. And like I said, I'm going to show you guys how to remap my way, the easy way, on Betaflight. I remap just half the birds I make, probably. Yeah, it's just how I am. I don't pay attention to a lot of things, especially with 4-in-1 ESCs. I just wire the fuckers up, see which one's gone south of cheese, and remap it. That's all I do. Okay? Bam and bam. So, let's see. I think I will cut these down. So I'm going to cut these down and re-tin so they look a little bit neater. We don't need all this shit. Bam. Be right back. Woohoo. We're back. All right. Tin these up. I shortened them up a little bit. Got to make a couple trim adjustments here. Good enough. I'm going to spin them. And I'm going to solder them in. Pretty straightforward shit. Okay. Hopefully this isn't shot. If it's not, shit happens. All right. So, I'm going to use the tweezers. You know, God gave you tools, use the fucking thing. So, motor 3. And I just spin the wires on signals just to really kind of keep them in spot, keep them in location. Adds a little bit of nervous tension. Am I still in shot? Okay. So, nothing but a peanut. Bend the wire to your advantage if you can. There's that guy. Bam, drone surgery. I overspun this one. That's okay. It ain't gotta be beautiful. Just gotta run. Rocco's like so meticulous, and he's like, oh, I color code my shit and blah blah blah, and I'm like, fuck, I can't even see colors. The Green Goblin, we're calling this bitch. Now, do not hit your gyro when you solder those. Bam, there we go. Purdy. Purdy, purdy, purdy. Next thing we're gonna do, so that should be kosher. All right, let's see. No smoke. Still works. All right, we're good. Golden. Need a drink. Woohoo! So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna stick a motor in this bird. I'm sorry, not a motor. He's already got that in. This thing, camera. Now, I'm gonna show you guys something. Oh, for God's sake, come on. Blah, blah, blah. All right. This is not the motor I had picked out. Motor. Why do I keep saying motor? Dude, it's been a long damn day. Shit, where's the camera I had? Blackhawk was here last night. I got everything all fucked around. This is what I ordered for my drone build I'm going to start for you guys tomorrow. And then when Rocco got this thing out to me so fast, I'm like, well, fuck, I'm going to use, this is a Runcam Eagle 2, okay? But I ordered 2 of these, which are the Foxeer, what, hang on, Arrow, new Arrow, bam, okay? But the weight difference is huge. I haven't even weighed it. Hang on. On the scale, it tells no lies. Get rid of this thing. And we've got Foxeer, 13. Metal ass Runcam, 19. Fuck a whole lot of that. We're making a fucking freestyle bird. I'm going to put that on a drone. We're going to use the Foxeer. Easy enough. Boop, boop. So, there we go. It comes with 2 cases, one for that. I already swapped it out, and one for that. We want that. Oh, excuse me. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take all this shit apart. Yeah, see, I should prep, but I don't. What's that fucking thing? Oh, that's an OSD doohickey thing. And I'm going to put this in the box and send to Rocco because I don't adjust cameras because I'm blind as a fucking bat. And color doesn't matter to me, and contrast doesn't matter to me. So it's like, fuck it, you know. So we're going to take this gear. We're just going to throw some shit out here. And we're going to mount this pig. So this is upside down. Foxeer bit goes right side up. So this thing needs to go as such. Tell me it's going to fit. I'm going to be fucking pissed. All right. All right, brother. I got to swap these around. See, those indents, the indents go on the inside so the camera fits. No worries. Do I have to do that? Let me play with it. I don't think it really matters. But I'm not loving this camera. There we go. Yeah, I guess we don't really have to do it that way. Just me. Okay. I'm going to screw this in off camera because you guys don't need to see this boring ass shit. I'll be right back. Bam! There she is. Nice. You can get some sick angle on this thing too. Look at that. Whoa, buddy. Look at that. Damn. So, that's sweet. We got our peeper in there. Beauty. Now what we're going to do... Ooh, shouldn't have dropped it on gyro. Don't do that shit. Now I've drank enough. Okay. So now we need our wiring harness. This is... What is this? I've never hooked up one of these. I don't know. We're taking it by the wing here. We'll figure this shit out. Mounting hardware crap. All right. No big thing. Nothing but a peanut. Oh, look. They got their little thingy. We're going to leave that on because it's going to be a bitch right here to get in. So, what do you got, kids? Well, first off, we've got a broken connect. No, I don't know what that is. Yeah. Okay. So, all I'm going to do is this. We're going to leave these 2 off. This is your OSD, I would imagine. This camera has OSD on it. We're going to knock that shit out. Because I don't use camera OSD. I just had a question today. One of my brothers on the channel, do you use camera OSD? And I'm like, well, I suppose I would if I was using a board that was old and didn't have OSD. But when in doubt, kids, always use Betaflight OSD. If you've got it, bam. So this camera, if I'm not mistaken, is 5 volts to... Oh, fuck. 5 to 35. So we can hook this thing up on anything. Now, here's a tip. Our yellow, in my case white, yellow, black, and red. Black is negative, red is hot, yellow is signal. So, something I want you guys to know, though, if you've got the option of wiring into high voltage or low voltage for a camera, use the low voltage because The more voltage you take in, the more it has to step down internally. And once you do that, you're just making heat and wasting battery. So I'm hooking this piggy up to 5 volts and signal right underneath here. This is an extremely touchy spot. Let's see, well, maybe we can do it in camera. Yeah, you don't want to fuck this up. They do give you an extra ribbon cable in case you do, but phew, God help your soul. That replacing that ribbon cable, son, is a whole bag of not fun. All right, so you got 5 volt down here, battery, and signal. So I'm gonna trim this up a little bit real quick. Party. All right, so 5 volts. Do not, if you use this board, you hit that ribbon cable once, that soldering iron, bam, your day just got fucking bad, son. So there's ground. Don't need tweezers for this. Not but a peanut. Okay. See that shit? I almost hit that fucker. All right, and video in. Video in is always camera side. Good enough. All right. We're gonna leave this little, this is our OSD clip. And obviously we have a ton of extra wire, but that's okay. I'm not gonna go too short on things because if you guys, whoever flies this bird, if y'all need to do repairs or some stupid shit, you're gonna fucking be hating me. You're like, why did he cut this so fucking short? It's a pain in the ass. So there we go. We're gonna leave that stitched in there like that. Sorry, I know I'm out of shot. You'll live. Okay, bam, there we go. Okay, nothing but a peanut. And you can just shove that shit in there. We'll neaten this up when it's all said and done. Okay, not a big thing. So we got that in. Now there is a hole in the bottom of this frame for that camera to stick out. So we're okay with that. Next up is VTX time. We're gonna move this bird out the way. And we're gonna do the VTX trick. Woohoo! I am putting in, this is why I put in everything. Sorry, VTX 03, Eachine, multi-changing, blah, 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 blah. Don't need that shit. Okay. These are what we use on micros, but this is a 25-50-200. Now I will set it up for our 200 on this bird. And I'm going to, these are input 5 volts is red, ground negative, video is yellow. We do not need this. And what this is your voltage out. If you want to power your camera off of the VTX, you can do it. Bam, gone. We don't need it. So then we're going to cut that. I don't even know where I'm putting this yet, but we're going to do the JJ super antenna trick. We're going to pop off that dipole. Take a pigtail. Woohoo! I need to order more of these fuckers. I'm just about out. So then what we're going to do, we're going to get some heat shrink tubing. I just had some white. Where'd it go? There it is. Let's see what we got you. Yep, that'll work just fine. We're going to cut off a little bit. Trust me, kids, do this step. Takes 2 fucking seconds and it'll save your ass. So here's what we're going to do. We slide the heat shrink tubing down there. Let's see if I can get rid of this. And then we're going to pop this on here. This is not for looks. This isn't a micro. You're not going to see this thing, but what we want to do is we want to glue that shit up. Slide that heat shrink back over. Bam, just like that. Take a little bit of lighter. Doesn't have to be pretty. This isn't to hold your antenna up like the micro trick. This one's just to keep that connector on or bad things will happen. So now what we're going to do, we got to think about this bird. Our VTX, this VTX, the other reason I like these things is they're really nice on the battery because they only take 5 volts, so you don't have to worry about that. But he's got this thing like this. How are we going to do this? Yeah, kids, that's going to be some clever shit right there. We got to figure something out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut and tin that connector off, splice these out. There we go. Tin off camera, we all know. Go watch my brother, gimbal guy, Rocco. He did a bunch of soldering on camera, and I just can't be bothered. I've done soldering videos, so if you're that disturbed by it, go watch it. Okay, so then this one, we're going to go off of 5 volts, pretty much anywhere we want. We'll take it in right. 0 volt, 5 volt. So we're going to do it right over here. Turn this up. Already got our ground. Hopefully you guys can see my big fat fucking head in the way. And then this V0, I think I misspoke earlier. That's your video out, which is right there. And I'll give you a close-up of this so you guys can see it. Video out. So the video signal comes in where I showed you. And then it goes through the board. The board overlays the OSD. Then that goes out to the video out signal, which is always your VTX side. Bam, look at that beauty. Okay, Shazam, kids. Right there, video out is the yellow, ground, and 5 volts. So then what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this and twist like this. Bam, not but a peanut. And we're just going to double side tape that. Fuck. I'm not sure how I want to do this yet. So, take your tape. I'm not going to stick it on there yet because I want to get this frame put back together before I mount the VTX because I don't know where I want it. I just fucking don't. Now I'm going to put 2 on here because it's a curvy surface, and curvy surfaces on the flat surfaces like a little bit more foam. So they get proper adhesion. Woohoo, say that 3 times when you're drinking. Bam, forget about it. All right. And we're just gonna leave the tape on that bit. Because I'm thinking we might be going here. Oh, I gotta find my end, it just rolled off. That's okay, here it is. Okay. I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might see if I have a different VTX, but we'll futz around with that later. So, okie dokie. Bam, look at that. That's a beautiful thing. The only thing left we got to do is a receiver, and I got to dig one up. I don't even know where the fuck they're at. So, bam, be right back. Bam, and we're back. Okay, so here's how I ended up doing this. This frame does not have a particular hole or anything for any type of VTX. So I did it this way. I took the RPSMA, put it through here. We already had a hole for a zip strip. Then I put another zip strip around this tail and double-sided taped the very light VTX 03. Bam, that's fucking beautiful, man. That's gorgeous. So everything's done except receiver. For the time being, I'm just gonna throw in one of my radio link receivers. We're gonna solder it to ground, 5 volts, and what did I say? UART 3, I believe we said. Yep, receive 3. So that's what we're gonna do. Give me 2 seconds here. I'll let you guys watch some boring shit. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna go ground. Always wire the inside if you can. Ooh, that's ugly. There we go, okay. And then our signal is gonna go into receive. And I'll be pulling this receiver right back out when I ship it to Rocco, obviously. And then 5 volts, it's gonna go right there. Bam, done, beautiful, perfect, damn. All right, then we're gonna twist this up. This is temporary, this little bit right here. Not but a peanut. Because I am just gonna pop test this bitch, make sure everything works, give it a tune, do the Betaflight, and I'm sending it back to my brother. And he's gonna do the maiden, whether he likes it or not. Okay, so we're just gonna slide this guy here for now. No big thing. All right, and then I'm gonna zip strip it to the antenna. I'm sorry, to the antenna for now. Not a big deal. So realistically speaking, we're done. Okay, so let's do a prostate check. Always do your prostate check. Oh, that sounds like a... Man, I've been playing with little kids' toys too much. My girls, they got all these fucking toys that go bleep, beep, 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 beep. It's terrible. Okay. Beautimous. All right, let's see what happens. See if they magic smoke. Rocco's like, fuck, here we go. All right, bam, 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 bam. Cool. Let's test for our video signal. Let me grab a battery and a plug. Where's my plug? I want you guys to be able to see this. There it is. Okay. Now we're going to have to turn on, we're going to switch our channel over to F1 because that's what I run. F1. Hold it down a couple seconds. A, B, C, E, F. And then I am F1, which it should already be on F1. That's all right. It was, but that's okay. We'll cycle through. 6, 7, 8, 1. Damn, perfect. Now, just for fun, we have no transmission power at this point. Okay, see that 0? That means nothing. So we're going to hold this down until we get 1 bar. Or 0 blinking, and then hit it once. Oh, look at that, kids. Woohoo! Look at all that stupid shit we have to shut off. Patriot Blades. But you see this stuff down here? Yes, I already flashed the thing. We got to turn off the internal OSD on the camera. But look at that. Bam, nothing but a peanut. Shit works. That's beautiful. All right, so now what we're going to do, we have a smoking hot wife interruption, I bet. Ha! She just shut the door. I'm going to throw this frame back together. Now, I'm going to turn the VTX off because it's just going to waste a bunch of juice. That's 50. That's 200. That's off. We're going to leave it off because I'm going to have this thing sitting on my desk and no sense in it sitting there getting hot. So, bam! I'm going to pop this thing back together and I'll show you the finished product. Be right back. Bam! There she is, kids. Woohoo! Pretty. So, what we're going to do now, bottom's on. Everybody's copacetic. That's where your USB is at, so that's easy to get to. Our Fox ear's in there. The lead, that looks like a good, he did a good job on that. That's exactly how it should look. I'm going to throw a zip strip around this little antenna for temporary purposes. Hang on. And then I'm going to throw some props on there just so we can have a look of what this little piggy's going to be looking like. And if you pay attention, or you're interested, or you give a damn, fuck's all this? Oh, well, I find all sorts of stuff. We are going to, I'm going to show you how to build a pagoda antenna too at the end of the video. I'm going to stick that on at the end. I actually recorded it last night while I was waiting for Blackhawk to get his ass over here. And that is going to be on the end where we build this antenna. So if you guys are interested in that, that's what it's going to be. All right, so, God, I never find anything. What a fucking mess. Man, it's been a long week. I want to get this done tonight and up tonight. Hopefully, I can do it. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not going to put these on permanent. I'm just going to put them on for looks. I got to tell you, Rocco, I got a kick out of him. Gimbal guy, who's my partner in this whole mess. He sends me this bird, right? And him and the boys are all excited. And like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Well, he was still uploading his video yesterday morning. And it's a long video, hour long. And he's a video freak, he edits shit. His stuff looks real nice and mine looks real hack. And I got the bird and I was so excited to have this from him. And I'm like, I got to do my little response video, which is completely useless, but it's fun just so you guys know what's going on. And I do it, and my videos, guys, are just like fucking lame, they're just, I put my fucking phone above my desk here, I hit record, and the only time I really usually edit is if I have to insert something, or it's flight footage and I want to put music on or something like that. But other than that, man, I do it in one take. If I fuck up, the fuck up stays in it. I just can't be bothered. I'd rather spend my time building birds and talking to you cats than editing a bunch of shit. So, this is what the Green Goblin's gonna look like. Oh, fucking badass. These are cyclones, by the way. Look at that mean fucking bird. Oh, my God. It's just, that is so fucking cool. I love the fact that the props are so much higher. I think that's just, it's a headhunter. It's very similar to my favorite frame, which is the Mocha Simplex. And these motors are supposed to be, if you look at that, this is a Z though. These are actually supposed to be mounted up here. So it's similar. You could, in theory, buy this frame and turn it into a headhunter. You could make it a forward headhunter. You could put the front motors down. That'd be kind of slick. Might have to do that, but maybe. You'd be cutting some grass, though. I don't know if I'd fuck around with that. But anyway, that is it. Look at that beautiful bird. That is just bam. Now, the thing of it is, too, kids, you can make this a bottom mount battery. And he's saying, oh, you change the configuration and do all this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, no, not really. All you got to do... Gimbal guy, my brother Rocco, put this plate on top for a battery strap thing, which is a fucking cool idea. But realistically, all you've got to do, if you guys want to bottom mount this, like I fly, you can put the strap through here. Just make sure you don't hit stuff, but I'd be very, very careful because we've got a floating gyro in there. I would keep this a top mount bird, but that does get scary. Pay attention. Well, I guess not too bad with a 1300. You got plenty of clearance there. Okay, cool. So let's shoot over to the desk. Let's slap this pig on Betaflight, and I'll show you what we can do. Be right back. All right, here we are. Now, this is not a Betaflight tutorial, but I will try to go over this relatively quick, and this will work for pretty much any flight controller. So what we're going to do, we plugged in our bird, and you'll see I'm on COM 5. Up here in the top right-hand corner, we're going to hit connect. Bam. All right. Now, you'll notice our bird is upside down. Now, you can't see it, but on my desk, it is right side up and perfectly level. So, but ignore that for now. We can go down to CLI, and we're going to type in version. Always double check what your board is. And this is a Kakute 3. I got Kakute F4 with a 3.1 Betaflight, blah, blah, blah. This is what we're worried about. Okay? So I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to go into firmware flasher, pick Kakute F4 out of the list, click the newest firmware, 3.22, full chip erase, always handy, load firmware online, down here, and then flash, bam. And what it's going to do is it's going to go into DFU mode, which is bootloader mode, and it's going to erase your board, and then it's going to flash it in the second half here. So, wait for that. Oh my goodness. I'm going to try and do this reasonably fast. But this one's a little bit unique because we have the flight controller in upside down. So we have to do a couple little extra things. But we're also going to walk through the BLHeli flashing too as well. Because I know I've had a lot of friends with issues like that. So that's what we're going to do. And it's almost done. Bam! There it is. All right. So let's go ahead and connect. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our orientation right. So I hit reset Z-axis. And all that does is just flips it back around. It's no big deal. Nothing parameter-wise. So that's where we're at. So we have a completely inverted board, as you guys saw. So we're going to go to configuration first. All right, and we're going to go down to here. This thing is rolled over 180 degrees. So we're going to put 180 in here, save and reboot. Connect. And bam, there we go. Reset Z-axis. Now let's make sure tilt forward, tilt sideways. Yes, very, very nice. Now at this point what you want to do is you want to level it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the birdie is level. Yeah, it looks all right. This is only for angle mode really, but calibrate accelerometer. Poof. Now she's level. Ports. We're going to go into ports and we're going to go to, it's already set up. UART3 is what I wired our receiver into. That is what we're going to have here. If you wanted to, you could do smart telemetry or smart port telemetry and all that crap. I'm not even going to mess with that. So that's that. Now what we're going to do, that's all good. Configuration. We're going to go quad X, which is good. One shot. We're going to go to D shot 600. Motor stop. I do not want them to spin when armed. Now, one of the things I want to cover, a couple of my friends asked me, how do you set it up for motor direction reversed? If you notice from this picture, this one's going clockwise, counterclockwise, you know, counterclockwise, clockwise. If you hit this, these all switch the opposite way. That way when you hit grass, it throws the schmutz into the the crotch of the arms, if you will. All you do is hit this, save and reboot, then go into BLHeli and make sure your motors are spinning the other way. That's really all you have to do, and I'll walk through that in a minute. But we're going to leave this one normal. We're going to leave all that alone. This is an F4 processor. I'm going to run 8.8. Always keep an eye on the CPU load down here. You don't want that above 45 if possible. We're not running a barometer. We're going to put Patriot Blade for our craft name. We're not going to worry about any of this. Like I said, guys, I'm not going over this for a Betaflight tutorial. This is just setup. I'm going to go ahead and, no, we'll wait on that. Serial bus, you want serial bus, S bus set up here. That's what we're running. What features do you want? I do anti-gravity, dynamic filter, VTX we're going to leave off, OSD, air mode on permanently, telemetry, sure. That way, if any of you guys hook up your telemetry to this bird. Beeper configuration, I always turn off USB, but we don't have a beeper in this bird, so it really doesn't matter. So everything is set up on this. Now we're going to hit save and reboot. Make sure your CPU load doesn't go crazy. That's very important. We're at 6%. Fucking forget about it. That's awesome. Okay. If you guys are running BLHeli 32, which we are not, thankfully, thank you, Rocco, because it's not worth it. You can run D-Shot 1200, but that's where you set this. We're not going to do with that. So now we're good on power and battery. This does have a current sensor. So we got onboard voltage and onboard current. Okay. We're going to leave all this scaling alone. I'll calibrate those later. Not a big deal. We're going to hit save. Bam, done. Fail safe. Leave fail safe alone. Just don't even mess with it. If you turn off your transmitter, it should fall to the ground. That's all we want. PID tuning. Here's how I do it. We're going to stick with stock PIDs right now. We're going to go over to filter settings tab, get out of biquad filter and go into PT1. We're going to turn off our notch filters. Bam. Save. Then go back over to PIDs, and I'm setting it up for my rates. Y'all can change it to whatever you want, Rocco, or whoever's getting this birdie. All right. This is just how I fly. Everybody's got their different spice. This is how I do it. Not a big thing. We'll leave all this alone. And then I put 7 in anti-gravity. Hit save. Poof. Okay. Receiver. Go into here. Boom, 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 boom. Now, what you want to remember is if you're running Tyrannus, you're going to want to change your AETR. This is your stick control to Spectrum, Fry Sky, whatever you're doing. I'm going to leave it on default because I just threw a radio link in here. We're going to put 1075 in here. And RC deadband I put in 10. Yaw deadband I put in 10. RSSI channel, I'm just going to leave off. Modes. My standard setup, and you guys, everybody that gets this bird and flies it is going to have to change these to how they have it set up. Okay? So that's angle mode, horizon, and then obviously acro is nothing. Beeper I always have on 4. Put it over here. And then we're going to put flip over after crash on 3. Bam. Save. Done. Okay? That's it. Modes. Adjustments, servos, motors. Now, this is important. Here's what we're going to do. Okay. Computer's acting up. At this point, make sure you have no propellers on the bird. Okay? Plug in your battery. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to enable all, and we're going to hit the master up. We're not worried about mapping yet. Notice we got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and follow the direction. So what I do is I put this up a little bit, and then I feel with my finger which one's going the right and wrong way. 1 is right, 2 is wrong, 3 is wrong, and 4 is wrong. Easy enough. So now, here's what we're going to do. Disconnect your battery. So 1 is the only motor going in the right direction. Disconnect your battery, disconnect Betaflight. but leave your bird plugged in and leave Betaflight up. COM5, go down to your BLHeli, open up BLHeli suite. Here we go. Wow, dogging. All right, make sure you're on the same COM port, which was 5, and you hit connect. Now, connect your battery back up. Okay, hit read, and you should get nice 4 little ESCs popping up. And we do. Pretty. Now, we know 1 is right, so we're going to reverse the direction of 2, reverse the direction of 3, and reverse the direction of 4. Then I change this, turn this off, turn on programming by TX, put brake on stop on, move your beep strength to 200 because we are using the motors for a beeper. There is no physical beeper in this bird. And beacon delay, this basically means if there's power on these motors and you have not armed it in 10 minutes, they're going to beep by themselves. And you can leave that on, leave it off. Then hit write, which is right here, and that's going to write the setup. You see it right up here. Okay? Now we're good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade, while we're in here, our firmware. So we're going to hit flash all. It's going to pull up what it is. Click on this. You want D-shot commands. If you guys want the beeper to go through the motors and you want the anti-turtle, which is where you can flip the bird over, which works about half the time because of grass, you want D-shot commands. So hit that and then hit flash. And wait a minute. And now you're going to get all of these things. Okay, and you just wait for these to flash up. Now, what I was talking about earlier with while we're doing this, I'm going to talk about this with Betaflight. Some of the guys had asked me, hey, how do you make it so the props spin the opposite direction so when you crash in the grass, it doesn't throw all the schmutz onto your camera? This is how you do it. So basically in Betaflight, in that configuration screen we were in, you go in and you click that switch I just showed you that was reverse motor direction, all right? Then you go into Betaflight and you do that little, well, you test your motor directions in Betaflight like I just did to do this. Then you go into this and you make sure everything's going the right way. So I would have reversed ESC1 and left the rest normal. But I'm not reversing the props on these because this is going to go to a lot of people and it's just going to get confusing if you break a prop and you need to change it. I don't want to mess with people's heads too bad. So this one's done. Bam, we are done, kids. So we're going to hit disconnect. See how loud that is? Woo! We're going to get rid of BLHeli. We're going to connect Betaflight. We're going to go back down to motors, and we're going to enable, and we're going to recheck. Hear that? Okay. So we got 1 is right, 2 is right, 3 is right, and 4 is right. Nice. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to figure out which motors are controlling what. This is the remapping part, guys. This is the easy Jason way, okay? So here's what you do. You're going to shrink this down a little bit. Let's, just so you guys can see what's going on here. Twitchy thumb, twitchy thumb. All right, there's that. Oh, you cunt. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna open up Notepad. I usually do this with a pen and pencil. Honest, or a pen and paper, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I'm going to go back up and I'm going to go dash, 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 dash. Now, when I move number 1, I want to see which motor on my bird turns. And I am turning number 2. Okay? Go back to your sheet and type in a 2. Go to motor number 2. And I am spinning number 3. This is just for reference. I usually just write this down, but I'm too lazy to scan a document and shit. So number 3 is actually number 1. And number 4 is, you guessed it, the only one that's right. So that makes life easy. So number 4 is number 4. So now what we're going to do Hit enter. This is just our reference. So these are the actual sliders on the left, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and these are the actual motors that are controlling right now. So now what we do is we go into CLI and we type resource. Okay, hit enter, and we copy 1 through 4. That's all you want, just 1 through 4. Right click, copy, then go back into your notepad. Or WordPad in my case. Now, here's what I do. I go paste once. Oops. And I paste again. Now, you'll see why in a minute. So, motor number 1 is B00 by default, but we want whatever number 3 is, because right now 3 is controlling 1. So, if you go down and you look at 3, it's actually AO3. So, we're going to go here, AO3. Now, number 2 is controlling number 3, but who's controlling number 2? 1 is. So it's B00. This is the reference because we changed it, right? So number 2, we need to be B00. Oops. Okay. Number 3 is actually controlling number 1. But what was controlling 3 is number 2. So go down to 2, it's B01. B01. Oops, my bad. Okay, does not have to be capitalized, by the way. All right, now, and 4 is 4, so we're good. 4 was controlling 4. Now, this is the one we changed. This was for reference. This was for reference. Copy this, paste it into CLI, hit right-click, paste, hit enter, hit save. You'll hear it reboot. We're going to hit connect. We're going to go to our motors, and now we're going to double check to make sure we did it right. It's number 1. Yep. Number 2. Yep. Number 3. Yep. And number 4. Beautiful. Perfect. All right, so that's done. Motors are done. Firmware is done. Everything's done. We're going to go to OSD now. And, man, this thing's dogging, son. It's all right. We got all night. Switch all off. This is how I set mine up. Okay, you could, OSD is a personal thing, however you want it, whatever. We're going to put it in NTSC for American. We're going to put it in imperial units. We're going to take timer number 2, and we're going to break it down to 3 minutes. And then we're going to enable RSSI. Wow. We're going to enable main battery voltage. We're going to enable timer 2. Craft name, current, yeah, I suppose you could. Current draw if you got, yeah, I don't care. Milliamp drawn, don't really care. Let's see, what else am I missing? Power PID, GPS, average cell voltage, I like that one. And then disarmed, nah, yeah, I kind of like that one now. You can do main battery usage if you want. I don't like a ton of shit. Now what I do, this is your amperage, your fly minutes. And usually what I do is I put my fly minutes right here. Okay? And I take my RSSI, I put it here. Y'all can put this shit wherever you want. I take my real battery voltage and I put it here. And then I take my average battery voltage, cell voltage, and I put it here. Disarmed goes away when you're armed, obviously. Now, what over here is what do you want displayed after you disarm? Max speed, don't care. Minimum battery, I do. Minimum RSI, I do. Max current, sure. I don't care about this. Black box, I do not care about that. End battery, blah, 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 blah. Black box, don't care about that. I do want my timer. Hit save, done. That is finished. Now, the other thing I do is I do upload a different font. You do not have to do this whatsoever. It's just something I do because it has a more accurate battery meter, if you will. So this is going to upload the digital fonts you guys see on my DVRs that I use. And then there's one more trick, and then we're pretty much done with this pig. Hang on a minute. It's going to reboot after it does this. Bam. There we go. Look at that. Loud. All right. Connect. We're going to go to CLI. Now, there is a place to do this here. Configuration. I haven't tried it. I don't know if it works or not. Maximum arm angle, you should be able to hit 180 and hit save and reboot. Let's see if it works. Because I used to do this through CLI, and they made this a new function in 3.2 release, so let's see if it works. What this means is basically you can arm it at any angle. And the reason this is useful, if you all get stuck in a tree and it's just hanging there by a tiny limb, but it's upside down, you'll be able to arm it and maybe chop your way out. I use this on micros all the time. It's very, very useful. But it used to not save it. So let's see if it saved it. It's not there, but let's go into CLI and we're going to hit Get Angle. And it's, nope, it did not work. Set small angle 25. That's bizarre. So we're just going to copy the, oh, I'll just type it, it's faster. So set small underscore angle, space equal space 180, bam, save. Invalid name. Oh, I typed it wrong. Set small underscore angle, space equals to 180, enter, save. Now we're good. Now it's going to be able to arm at any angle. This bird is done. All we've got to do now is, you should test your receiver, but my transmitter's out in the garage and fuck it. I'm not going to go get it. I'm just going to plug it in and see if it works. You'd go into your receiver tab, turn on your transmitter, and all this stuff should be good. And obviously check your modes. One thing that I also always check, just to be sure, when you arm this bird, this particular bird, the way I set it up, it will automatically turn the blades on in air mode, okay? So you should be able to put it on the ground, put it in air mode, shut the transmitter off, and after about a couple seconds, the prop should stop. If they don't, you have a problem. So make sure you test that, kids. OSD, that's all good. Black box. I'm not a big black box guy, to be quite honest with you. We're just going to go 1 kilohertz is fine. That's all good. I don't care about that. So that's it. So let's just double check, make sure everybody's copacetic. So tilting forward, tilt to the right. Bam. We are done, kids. That is the quickie tutorial on Betaflight. So we're going to do a pop test in the next video and see how this pig performs. So until next time, keep shining side up, guys. Take care. Bye. Hey kids, bam, happy Veterans Day. Today has been an amazing day. Just fucking forget about it. Awesome. So I'm waiting for Blackhawk to get over here, and as you guys know, Rocco Gimbal FPV has sent me our PatriotBlades Bird. So one of the things I want to do while I'm waiting for Blackhawk to get here for something else is I'm going to start the build of the PatriotBlades #1 bird, which Rocco, my brother, started. Since I don't have a lot of time tonight just for that, and I want to take my time with it, we're going to build the antenna. Because me, being me, I'm going to put a far view on this baby. Bam! So I'm going to show you guys how to build one of these from scratch. Because I did one of these a while ago, a build video of this, and it was kind of old. So here we go. This is going to be just a quickie run through. Every link to what every part of this build is, bam, is in the comment section. So what you're going to do, you're going to order a FarView kit, bam. Or you can order this thing pre-built. That's all good. So we're going to put this thing in. And what you're going to do is take out your coax, roll it on a flat surface, get it nice and flat. Now you're going to take a razor knife and cut about 1.5 mils back. Very easy to do. If you're not used to razor blade knives, do it on a hard surface. About 1.5 mils back, maybe 2. Don't have to get anal. And like I said, I think I've built more of these than FarView has. So whatever. Bam, look at that. Beautiful. Now, when you order your antenna, order the soldering jig. If you order 3 antennas or more, they throw this into the order. You have to have this. Do not attempt building this pig without it. Now, you're going to get 3 discs. Maybe. Whew. Didn't prepare. I never prepare. You've got the far view disc, the middle disc, and the last disc. So you're going to take the far view disc. This is your jig. Take it just like this. Put this in upside down. So the far view is facing to the short side, and you're going to put this in like that. Bam. Good old 3D print from far view, my brothers. All right, bam, there you go. Now we're going to take this guy, slide it into here. That's all you're going to do. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to try and get this in shot. It's going to be a little tricky to do. Yeah. Bam, look at that shit. That's a beautiful thing right there. Give yourself a little bit of angle. Now, what you want to do, this is how I do. Take yourself some solder. That's too much. Whatever. Heat it from the back side, just like that. And let the solder sit on there. Then roll the solder around. Look at that. Woo, buddy. That is fucking pretty. Now, the reason we hit it from the back side is if you, like I always say, if you hit it from the back side and you move the solder and it melts like it just did, you have a perfect weld joint. So we're going to take the solder joint. So we're going to take that off. Pop this guy out. Bam, look at that. Pretty. So now, put this in here. And you're going to solder a little bit on the top. Just like that. Okay. Perfect. Just like that. Nothing but a peanut. Now we're going to heat this up a touch. Just really make sure she gets in. Now, what I do is I trim the top. Boop. Perfect. Like that. Now, what you want to do, far view is facing up. Okay? Bam. Like that. Now, you want this middle disc, which is the one that's the same size, facing the opposite direction with the print, okay? So the print's gonna go like that. So get it, far view on top, that print on bottom, and then take your little disc and put your print facing the same way. So you got print on bottom, print on bottom, print on top. Then you're gonna take it with your finger, take your little fixture, and you're gonna line it up in the notches. Do not, kids, even remotely attempt to solder this. Oh, look at that shit. Do not attempt to solder this without this fixture, because what this fixture does, this is a precise tuning, okay, of this antenna. And this part is a little sketchy. You gotta kind of play with it a little bit. I don't know if I'm even getting this in shot because I ain't even looking at it. Bam. Oh, look at that dumbass, drunk ass. There you go. I am just pumped. This has been just the best fucking day, kids. Rocco, my brother, gimbal guy, sent me the Bird for the build, and his boys were in on it, and then Blackhawk and I are doing the Zebra FPV build, not build, sorry, interview, if you will, tonight for Veterans Day, because veterans are what make our countries great. I don't care where you're at, unless you're in one of those fuckhole countries that veterans are, you know, whatever. Anyway, so let's see. Bam, bam, bam. Lock it in, just like that, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to heat from the back side again, and we're going to do this top bit right there, okay? Bam, right there. So really easy. We're going to do the same approach. Look at that. Nothing but a peanut, okay? Look at that. I'm heating it from the back side. Put your solder in there. Walk it around. Ah, beautiful. This is for the PatriotBlades Build. Now this one's a little bit of a shorter, smaller point, so I'm just gonna go from the front side. Beauty. So all you cats that get this bird, you're gonna be like, damn, I remember watching that video with that. Perfect. Bam, beautiful. Look at that, nothing but a peanut. You want your solder joints to look just like that. Smooth, baby. Look at that. Okay, so now we take it out. Look at that shit. Bam, that is fucking hot too. Let me tell you what, kids. All right, so now you've got your little end. Here's my trick for the end. You take your little doohickey. This is what I call a doohickey, and this is going into your VTX. So how you want to do this, very straightforward and simple. Take your solder, just like this, and you're going to solder onto this tip, just a little bit. We're going to cut that down. This does not need to be that long. Bam, like that. Get the tip good and hot first. See if I can get it shot. And then, because you just want a little bit of coating on this. Get it good and hot, keep rotating it. You want nice and smooth. Look at that, beauty, okay? If you've got any little bits and bobs and craps on there, take shit off, kids, I'm telling you, okay? Now, we're going to take a tweezer and our little dry fit it first. Let's do this. We don't even need a tweezer. Bam, look at that. Fits perfect. Okay, now give it a little tap. Make sure it's seated. Now, all you're going to do is do what's called inductance heating. Okay, and we're just going to heat up this tip. That's all you're going to do. Fucking perfect. All right, and what that's going to do, see how it just got loose and it's like all wiggly? What that's going to do now, you did inductance heating, you heated up this tip, it's melted the solder inside, and now that tip is on there forever. Look at that, bam, ain't coming off. So the trick that I always do, we take our heat shrink, and we're going to measure down to about 1/4 inch or so to here. Good enough. I'm going to do 2. Because we're making this a durable ass antenna, because my brother, gimbal guy, he's like, fuck, we're building a badass bird. So we gotta have a badass antenna. So we're gonna heat shrink this up. Not but a peanut. It does not have to get perfect at this point. It is colder than shit out here, so even my heat shrink's like, fuck you. All right, I'm just gonna whittle it down a little bit. Let's slide the next one over. Trust me. Trust me. Once you heat this thing up with that soldering iron, you'll be like, forget about it. Okay. Okay, good enough. We'll reheat it later and shrink it down even more. Not a big deal. Now we're going to take the one FarView gave us and slide it over. Then you're going to take your element or your coax connector and slide it over there. Bam, look at that. And we're going to do the same principle with our angle. Okay, and again, heating from the back side, we're going to roll this pig around. Watch. You'll know when you get hot enough because you're going to get what's called the capillary effect. And it's going to draw right, oh shit the bed. You see that? And it's going to draw right in there. See, I don't edit my shit. People are like, you just fucked up. I'm like, hell yes I did. Usually that doesn't happen. It's okay. Bam. Go. Okay, still got good stick out. And you can see nice hot joint in there. Look at that. Bam, beautiful. Okay, and we're going to slide this guy down over it. Give it a little bit of heat shrink. And I'm going to finish this off. Now, beautiful. Look at that. Bam. It's gorgeous. Okay. Now, the one thing I always do. Okay. Grab this. Grab a glove. Now, watch this. If you guys watch my other far view stuff, you'll know what I'm doing. Okay? These are Clorox wipes, by the way. See? Little wipes. Doesn't have to be, I'll get rid of this fucking thing. Doesn't have to be a Clorox wipe. It's something that's wet. Not your old ladies. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take some silicone. Now, I usually use clear. Now look at this mess. You're like, fucking dude, really? I usually use clear, but I've got a ton of this white stuff, and I kind of like it because it shrinks. Now, what this is gonna do, this is a very, very important step to building a pagoda. Because what this does is this keeps you, once this dries, and it has to dry overnight, at least my stuff does, it's going to, if you crash, when you crash, it's going to keep those discs from squishing together and going out of tune. Trust me when I say you want to do the Oreo cookie mod, which is what this is. Look at that. That's a beautiful thing right there. Bam. Okay. Get rid of the glove. You don't have to wear gloves. It's not like this shit's toxic. I mean, I'm kind of, I don't really give a shit. I always get muddy and gross anyway. But silicone's kind of a pain in the ass to get off. Spin it around. A little bit of rubbing alcohol works just as well. And if you want to get the bottom, put it on the bottom, spin it. Oh, shit the bed. Gonna be a long night. All right, so look at that. That looks like it was meant to be, right? And you now have your beautiful, perfect far view Oreo cookie antenna mod. Bam, look at that. Now, what we've done, let's get rid of this stuff, is we put the extra bits of heat shrink tubing on the stem because that really helps in a crash. It keeps your coax from binding up, okay, and splitting. It does give you strain relief. And this is just for looks, honestly. Got a nice fit there. And then the Oreo cookie mod will keep it from going out of tune if it gets squished. And this is going on. Bam, the new build. So kids, give me 30 seconds and we're gonna start the real build. See you in a minute. Bye.
Bam, JJ! Hope you like fishing.